Drama content. Where are the missing wrestlers? What is this conspiracy? AEW is just dropping the ball on all of them, and we just must talk about it because it's so important. Holy flying fraggles, people. Why doesn't TK just let them be free? They're wasting away. Why are they not on my television? Yeah, it's Bex. And I am the extremely sarcastic host of Don't Call Me Diva. This subject has been brought up almost every month. You can put it on the AEW bingo card, spouting the same crap. And it's one of the reasons I have blocked many wrestling shows pretending to be journalists and created this show instead. Because we only talk AEW and affiliated women's wrestling. And even though we keep the show in the realm of delusion and kayfabe, and in doing so, we have created this like little bit of lore. But despite all that, we still give you more actual facts than certain others who claim the title of expert, which we will never do because we know our place. We know we're silly. This is Sassy episode 46. So if you're new and you want to know more about what we are going on about and what we do here, go check out episode 1, whenever you want. And then you'll be all up to date. Well, you don't listen to more than just one to be up to date. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to explain it all to you. In speaking of wrestlers who are still on the roster, but not on the television, I say we go through the list of all the ones that everyone keeps picking up on, and we will actually tell you the real reasons why they're not on television. Now, the first one, everyone should know about by now, and it's the painful one. It's something that we've been following on the show and giving little updates on as well from the moment that she first very kindly shared her health update. Because until then, even I had been wondering, where on earth is Rebel? The amazing, amazing, hilarious, talented Rebel. Well, we all know, and we're sending all of our love to Rebel, who has shared with us that she now unfortunately has terminal ASL, which is a nasty, nasty, nasty disease that not many people know much about. The research is not that great. Please, if you can and if you want to, donate to like your local research facility to protect, potentially save a future person. But for many reasons, we've been keeping up with Rebel. It's because she was such an integral part of the AEW women's roster from the beginning, and when she teamed up with the D. Rebel was so integral, that's not a word, to the Dr. Britt character that the two of them just created gold together. Absolute gold. Like I say, if you haven't seen like this era of AEW, go check it out. There's some hilarious shit. The waiting room, for one, was hilarious. It was like this little show that DMD was like the host of, and Rebel would introduce her in her most unique Rebel way. And that laugh that she would put out every time the Britt Baker would make some sort of like joke was hilarious. It was one of those brilliant like I can't do it justice, but it was like that, and it used to fucking crack me up because she nailed it. She put everything into it. We only got to see her perform in the AEW ring just a few times because she injured her knee twice. But if you want to see more of her in-ring stuff, you can go check her out on TNA as well. TNA has a lot of stuff on YouTube if you didn't already know of their old back catalog. Lamental times. Tanea has a nasty degenerative disease that has no cure, hardly any research, and will take your life, and it really, really fucking sucks. AEW have kept her on the roster and have kept her there despite everyone asking and not sharing her personal health details with everyone. Even though she can't work, they kept her on there. The compassion of that just shows so much of the character behind AEW, because I can't imagine going through like a 2.5, almost 3 year journey that Tanea has, and you don't have any work. That's just going to be awful. So, all of our love goes out to Rebel. You're amazing. And I would love to do a little like Rebel retrospective on her time in AEW with the Daily's Place stuff, especially because it's brilliant. But until I do, if you are interested, go have a little look. There's probably a lot of stuff on Dark too. And speaking of the good doctor, another one that is always brought up of like, where is she? Where is she going? What's going on? Like she hasn't been open and telling you everything that's been going on in her life this entire time. Love her or hate her, totally your option. Britt Baker was a brilliant heel of the women's division to a fault. It will turn out to be. Even when she got injured, DMD turned it into absolute comedy gold with the help of Rebel. DMD has, in her real reels, had a lot of medical issues since 2023, 2024. And in her own words, AEW has a pretty intense protocol for you to get cleared to be back into the ring. Brett had been for about 9 months with 2 herniated discs and a tore labrum which traveled to her neck. Ow. On and up close with Renee Paquette, she told the story of when the transient. Oh shit, I didn't know how to say this. Now I have to go and say this. My brain's like, nah, you're on your own, bitch. Transient is ischemic attack hit, which is, if you don't know, kind of like a little mini stroke. And while she was getting her hair done, just casually, just sitting there, getting her hair done, the symptoms came on. She thought it had something to do with her neck, but then shit went down. The trauma of that just coming on you as a young woman in general, whoo, and all the healing that that took afterwards took DMD out for an even longer period of time than what her major injury did. In October of that year, her relationship also went kaput with Adam Cole. And even though they remain friends, and that's up to them, that's their private life, they remain friends. Other people in the industry, who I refuse to acknowledge, felt like they knew better and started spreading disgusting fucking rumors that just flew around the IWC. And everyone who was already a little toxic was just there, ready to gobble up and redispersed it out into the world. She came back to AEW in her hometown the exact same month that that was announced and tried to give us the actual real update of what's been happening to her with this mini stroke attack. And her hometown crowd, who were always on Britt's side before, were always like there for her. You guys were booing her. She's telling you real life shit that's scary as that, if you have something like that, that can take your life. Oh my goodness, anything could. Whoa. They booed her. And not only was the booing going on in the crowd, but still the same old bollocks was going on the IWC. And that is all because people were convinced she cheated on Adam Cole because of a fuckwit. She was telling us her real life health scare in her hometown booed her. Even if TK wanted to bring her back for a certain longer run, if the crowd is just going to be dicks about it, what on earth can you do? And does she even want to be there? No. Brett and Thunder did not get on, but Thunder is very beloved. And she had a backstage altercation with Alicia too, and that just fueled the fire that she's just not a nice person to all these fans. Trying to Roman Reigns her in that kind of situation would just be career death, in my opinion. I just don't think it would have been great. So she had her matches with Mercedes Moné. Even those people were like dissing on. So, you can imagine she's just like, well, I'm just going to step back and just wait. Britt has done some acting work as well on her time off. She did a little bit of Cobra Kai. And she also had to close down her dentistry business because some of the fans were so convinced that she was such a bad person that they threatened to kill her. 2023 was a very quiet year for DMD, of course, and AEW is no longer on her Insta bio, but we're not jumping to conclusions on that because so are a bunch of other people. As of October 2025, she was still very keen on being a part of AEW roster, promoting it whenever she could and however she could, you know, advocating for like free talent that's like free talent, free agents that could come in and, so she's very, very much got her heart in AEW. But the woman's gone through a lot. And when things hit you like that, they can come at any point. So leave the woman alone. Whether you like her or not, it's totally fine. On to another one who I saw recently spoken about. Destination is very well known for our Ruby Soho. She had a freaking baby. She had a baby and has taken the time to not only give birth, but then recover and then also raising said child. And apparently, that's an unreasonable amount of time to take off for something like that. So things must be going on backstage, right? No. This is what it looks like when your employer gives a fuck about your actual life and treats you like a human. Ruby has also started to come out for WrestleCons now, a little bit at a time. She's still very, 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 very focused on raising her child with Angelo Parker, D'Angelo Parker, the man, the papa. We're a women's wrestling show. We're not a men's wrestling show. And recently, in an interview at one of those WrestleCons, we found out that Ruby has also opened up a cafe in Mishawaka, Indiana, called Victory Roll. It's one of those lovely places that you can go and play board games with great food. And they have coffee supplied by Mr. Lone Wolf himself, Tom Pestcott. And I had no idea that motherfucker made coffee. Victory Roll has board games for families and friends to come and play and be social, and she's put her time into that. Ruby is also, though, on the top 5 suspicious list of who took out Tony Storm. That's just between us, okay? We don't want to give her a little heads up just in case she likes me. Ruby honestly sounds like nothing brings her more joy than being a mama at the moment, and the fact that she can do that while still being on the roster is fantastic. But apparently she should be back by now because you've shoved a human out of your vagina. Nyla Rose has also talked about it, and if you have to ask why she is not there, then you are not thinking hard enough. She's in Japan, by the way. I forgot to check to see if she won that match and has Japanese gold. God damn. She may have Japanese gold by now. Emi Sakura is another one on the roster. I notice a lot of people don't go, oh, where's Emi Sakura? Where's Emi Sakura? Well, Emi Sakura owns and runs Choco Pro, which is a very busy wrestling promotion and has been wrestling with them an awful lot. She's trained roughly like 50 wrestlers, including our very own Hikaru Shida, and is insanely busy. So make sure to savor any match we get with her in AEW. Emmy did so much to bring legitimacy and experience to the AEW women's roster at the beginning. And now she doesn't have to as much. Riho! Another one I don't see people going, where's Riho? Where's Riho? And that's because you will suck. Wow, the last time she appeared on AEW television, a certain icon of women's wrestling decided to open up old wounds, really rip them wide, and spouted the same old bullshit that Riho has been bullied for the entire time she has been in AEW. Headed by one of the biggest pieces of shit in wrestling podcasting history. So, yeah. Bullying her about her body as a woman is disgusting. And I already have gone on a big rant about that on the Books and Bags show. So I shall not be getting myself riled up about this again. But if you were Riho, would you want to wrestle in the US? The first ever AEW Women's Champion does not get the respect she deserves, and they flower it up. And she deserves and flower it up with all the words. Oh, yeah. You can flower up your disgusting words all you want, but the root of it is sexist and racist. You cannot like her character. That is absolutely fine. But expressing it in a way that Riho haters do is not kind at all. It's actually really evil. Be better than that. She has been bullied off of socials just for being her and giving us everything of her. And she's also had God knows how much sexual harassment. So please think before you post about Riho, and if you've got nothing but bad things to say about Riho, we don't need to hear them. It's already been said. If I was her, I wouldn't want to be on AEW television, to be perfectly honest. So thank you for that. Thank you. Yuka Sakazaki. I have seen her also being thrown around as being wasted. And you want her? Watch ROH. She recently defeated Viva Ban. Viva Ban? Viva Ban in the survival of the fittest qualifying match for a chance at the ROH Forever Champs. Still very active, people. And she even recently teamed up with Hubby for a TJPW match. They have like the cutest little pupper as well. And you are missing out because she now has a real brutal freaking like entrance music now that Oni is coming out, so you're missing out. Watch product. Serena Deeb. Now, Serena Deeb is an interesting character as to what she actually has been doing. This one was a little tricky because, yeah, she has been coaching of AEW, coaching in AEW, but nothing has been mentioned about that in like the last not 5, 3 years. So, But our dear professor has also had her own scares with multiple seizures from an unknown cause. I have been there myself. It messes with your confidence because you don't know what triggers it, so you don't know what to stay away from, so you don't know if it's going to happen again. And do you really want to be in the ring with that happening? So that kept her out for a really, really long time. But she has now cleared. And in 2025, she has competed in Collision, MLP, ROH, and Rev Pro, plus a few other indie promotions. She was in the tournament for the first ever pure women's title for an ROH, but was beaten by that 10,000-year-old Oni herself, Yuka Sakazaki. Deeb does also training seminars, and she had a match against Davina Thorne for the HAW Rise champ. Well, for HAW Rise from the Ashes 4 very recently. Now, Deeb does get some personal shit for who her husband is, which, as we know, can't help with her screen popularity. And this is wrestling entertainment. Okay. Now, Ty Mello. Ty Mello. She had a major setback with the fans, which put her character and her momentum pretty much on the reverse, which sucked. When her and Sammy fell in love, the relationship that came out of it really gave her mega heat. And that's not her fault. I mean, it's not anyone's fault. Sammy really, it was a whole, it's a whole spaghetti. It's a whole spaghetti. But they got married, they had a baby, another man that has had a baby, which ask any woman who has had a baby can makes everyone feel different every time. Ty J did reform last year, as we know, and they had a little run as a tag team for about 5 months, but they got kicked out on the first round of the AEW tag tournament, which I have to say we were all a bit miffed about. You know, the only OG tag team left over from the original run. And that didn't do anything for their tag team momentum at all. Can you honestly say that they were over as a tag team as a whole? Like, I know they were over with some OGs, but as a whole at the shows, they weren't. Her last match was against the Toxic World Champion. Well, not at the time, but was to be the Toxic World Champion, Tekla. And Ty is another woman who is still focusing on being the best mama that she can be and is raising her small child with Sammy, who is recently, like, well, not recently, but is currently the ROH Tag Team Champion. So someone needs to be able to look after their squish because he's working a lot. They also very recently went back to Brazil to see her family as well. She also shared that the current Frosty immigration bollocks has caused her some concern also. So, Ty, when you come back, please, please, betray Anna Jay. Do it. Betray her. Turn heel. It will work. I swear. I swear. That's just on me, though. That's just my personal opinion. Madison Rain is another one on the roster who you won't see in ring, and that is because she has retired from in-ring wrestling. She is doing a fuck ton of work as an agent, producer, and a coach for AEW. She only recently fully retired in a match with Deonna Purrazzo against MIT, Billy Starks, and Diamante. It's a great match. They had two of them. One they won, one they lost. Go watch it. Who else you got? Huh? Diamante. I also saw she's on ROH, killing it. She's going to have a match at the upcoming Supercard of Honor against Red Velvet. Yeah, Red Velvet. Taya Valkyrie, ROH with the fantastic MXM TV. Thunder Rosa. She's the Rio Cabaret Women's Champion, don't you know? And she defended it recently against Alex Falcon in London, who we know very well. Thunder Rosa has a dual contract with AEW, and CML Allen has been doing a lot of work down in Mexico along with her AEW and also indie dates. With after her recent return to AEW this year from a concussion and back injury, she went to social media to also talk about all the racist hate she received after coming back. So that's going to be great for the soul as well. Co-host of Don't Call Me Diva, because I saw her mentioned as well, Penelope Ford, and DCMD's favorite wrestler, Layla They're both injured, and I don't want to talk about it because it makes me feel sad. But Layla Gray. Now go back to healing up, okay? Layla Gray. Anyway, Diana Perazzo. Oh, Ford. She's still silent. Still silent. Ford. But Layla is up and doing Comic-Con, so very excited. Diana Perazzo is the ROH Pure Women's Champion. Put some respect on her name. Camille is back from filming American Gladiators. Tony Storm's been bonked on the head into oblivion, and Mercedes Moné will be back at any moment. Anyone else you may be looking for is on ROH, and if you can't find them, you're not looking hard enough. Athena is our forever champ and has been robbed of not having an official celebration. Why are more people not talking about that? That is the conspiracy. That is the drama. Red Velvet, like I said, is killing it on ROH as the ROH Telly Champion. Charlotte and Robin Renegade are there, but Robin is currently out with a really bad injury. So Charlotte has been battling awesome singles matches. Christian XO, the tall glass of water, is with STP, which also has the amazing Trish Adora, and is one of my favorite factions ever. You may have known, I may say that often. You got Story Denali over there, Viva Van, the Inspiration. See, that wasn't hard to find them, was it? No. They are all there. All the usual. Where are they? Present and accounted for. If you spent about 30 seconds looking, you would have actually had something topical to talk about. That includes the men's roster too. But we don't talk about that here. Yes, I am salty, but I hate lazy bullshit. God damn it. And while we are on the subject, ROH, like I said, the 19th Supercard of Honor is coming up very, very soon. It's on the 15th of May. And the American Joshi Dominion Overlord, the Fallen Goddess, our forever champ, as of this recording, 1,243 days. Athena will have to defeat Trish Adora, Yuka Sakazaki, Billy Starks, Maya World, and it was meant to be Persephone, but Persephone got legit injured, which really sucks. That mist is quite potent. Ooh. So now Han and Zeta Steel will have to battle it out to see who will then take Persephone's spot. Now, excuse me, one. If you've been paying attention to these ramblings of an unhinged Kiwi, you will know that I have been saying for a while that Billy Starks will be the one to take Athena's title off of her. And what better match than a multi-man match where the champion is at an extreme disadvantage? I can envision the shenanigans now, can't you? It's like a thing of beauty playing out in my head. Athena would rage. But I don't think Athena's going to even need to be like pinned. She could be like taken out there and like a thing happened and then like Billy goes and then voila. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! The faces after that if she does actually lose. Now, I wonder how things are going to go down for MIT if Diamante is also successful in her match, because then Athena will have 0 belts and they will have 1 each. This is all very, very interesting, and I cannot wait to see what happens after Supercard of Honor. There is just so much shit that can just explode up in the Athena MIT world. Speaking of the jumping yawns, Diana successfully defended her pure title against Giselle Shaw, love Giselle Shaw, at Global Wars, and had a message for said Diamante. Diana Perazzo put out the challenge for Diamante because she had attacked her earlier rather rudely. And it was actually her idea to put her title on the line. I said it wrong before. I said it was Red Rabbit's title. But no, it's the pure title is on the line. Yeah. Diamante versus Diana. Woo! Like I said, Supercard of Honor, 15th of May. That's going to go down. Diana is mega, not mega pissed at Diamante because of that, like, attack. And so Diamante's going to have to dig in real deep, probably into ignore my hand stood there to defeat the women's pure champion who is currently undefeated. But back to the survival of the fittest and Trish Adora's battle against Hyan to win her place in this match. If Hyan wins, I wonder if Trish Adora would be like, "You deserve to be here." Anyway, we'll see what happens there. Trishadora from the infantry and STP comes out with her teammates, and the tall glass of water, Christian XO, accompanies her to the ring. Trish is in blue and white battle gear, and she is ready to fight. Hyan is out next in lime green and black, and she comes alone, leaving her outnumbered in the potential shenanigans department. Not smart. Trishadora overpowers Hyan, but gets dropped on her butt by Hyan, who then pats her on the head really patronizingly, and the audacity enrages and activates Trishadora. She yoinks Hyan's head and tries to literally rip it off. Hyan's pumped up too, though, this means a lot, and drop kicks Adora out of the ring rather beautifully and pancakes her with a crossbody to the outside. There wasn't that much space between the ring and the outside as well. Christian XO is so freaking tall. Holy crap. She doesn't even have on like the shortest shorts in the world. She's just got on like, casual short shorts. And when you look over at her with the camera of the ring, right, you can see her shorts end and her thighs start before the ring cuts off her legs. My goodness. She's so tall. Trish Adora back elbows Hyan off the top rope and she tumbles to the floor. Trish acts like she wants to go out and do more damage, but the ref gets in the way and sends her to the opposite side of the ring with the whole. It was the perfect ruse. Christian and her insanely long legs boot the face off of Hyan's head behind the ref's back and then rolls her back into the ring in front of the ref. And the ref is still like, "Hey, what are you doing?" She's like, "I didn't do anything. I'm just rolling her back in." And it's like, you believe that? You'll believe anything. Trish Adora has the best attitude in wrestling. Fuck, she's funny. She plays around with Hyan and like the split press that she's got. She uses her arms as like oars to row. Crack me the fuck up. Adora smooshes Hyan up in another submission and then uses Hyan's arm to like wave at the camera while Trish just beams her magnificent smile. Hyan tries to make her pay for that with some spicy chops, but unfortunately that just fueled Trish Adora more and she seemed to power up from them instead of feeling the pain. Hyan managed to wriggle out of Adora's grasp and sent her headfirst into the turnbuckles. A couple of well-placed boots here and there to the face got her down for the pin, but no success. A nice spear from Hyan. Almost got it, but Trish Adora kicked out at 2.99999. Adora's toughness and strength and determination to win will give her all the boost she needs to send Hyan flying over her head with a superb and owie looking German suplex with a delayed release that almost planted Hyan's head directly into the mat. Trish Adora gives us a ferocious look of battle and signals for the end. Adora nails Hyan with the Lariat Tubman. Lariat Tubman? Am I saying that right? And that's the end of all of that. The infantry are in the ring as quick as a queef, and all the celebrations come about. I had no idea where they came from. We're celebrating, and all of a sudden the boys are in the ring, and it's happy fun times. Okay, ROH. Y'all need women's tag team titles, okay? Like yesterday, all right? Adora and XO, killers. But we need tag titles. Stat. And speaking of tag titles, The Inspiration, who were just in TJPW in Japan, losing their Princess Tag Team Championships to Hakuchimu, have had some brilliant matches in ROH to date. They are just as bonkers as ever. In fact, I would say even a little bit more bonkers than ever, just as pink and just as blonde. They made their ROH debut in all of their inspiration glory, and I am beyond excited to see them in AEW. They bounce and shimmy and pelvic thrust their way to the ring for their battle entrance while Harley Cameron belts out their battle music. Jessie killed me by titty shimmying her way to the ref whilst Viva Van's music. Now, Viva Van, we all know and love, comes out first in her badass gear of awesomeness with her tag partner, all in pink, a certain Frankie B. Now, who the fuck is Frankie B, I hear you ask? I have no friggin' idea, so let's find out. Frankie B is from Sydney in Australia and is known as the designer doll. She makes battle gear and is besties with our tag team champion, Lena Cross from Divine Dominion. She is the exact same height as dear Penelope Ford. So, this now solidifies my need to have her join Divine Dominion, Divine Megabad Dominion, for the height lineup alone. Add in the talent to the mix, and you got yourself a fantastic faction. Come on, print money! Frankie B has 4 years of in-ring experience and has held the BCW Women's Championship for Battle Championship Wrestling in Melbourne, a title that was first held by Indy Hartwell herself. Evilise has also held that title, and Melina has held that title. Yes, I had to double check that. I was like, our Melina, that Melina, yeah, that Melina. At the AEW House Rules in Australia, Frankie B was one of the wrestlers the Inspiration had their first AEW match against. She has fought on ROH before this match against a personal favorite, Sisters of Sin, with Aisha, who was her tag team partner at House Rules. And she had rather a painful match against the Tall Glass of Water Christian, so it did not go well for her at all. As stated, Viva Van is in her amazing badass purple, silver, black strapped up the wazoo battle gear and gifts us with a titty shimmy of her own. She has such cool battle entrance. It's one of the best. These two have never wrestled before, so it shall be interesting to see how they combine against a team who know each other so well they basically live in each other's skin. It's kind of scary. As soon as the entrances are done, the Inspiration instantly start to yap. In fact, they may have even been yapping before. I just couldn't hear them. They yap to themselves, they yap to the ref, they yap to the crowd, they yap to themselves again. So Viva extends her hand for the handshake of honor, as is tradition. And this completely perplexes Cassie. Why for art thou wanting to shake my hand? You'd think she would have picked up a little bit of information before she came here, but her and Jessie, squaws, her and Jessie had to have a bit of a chinwag about the situation, and eventually Cassie decides to allow it, and she gives Viva quite the enthusiastic handshake. The Inspiration tried double teaming up on Viva, but she rolls herself out of the corner. Jessie tags in, and now Viva gets the pleasure of having Jessie mouth off right into her face. The Inspiration are playing around, but they are also dominating Viva and Frankie, mainly by isolating Viva in their own corner and completely taking Frankie B out of the equation. Frankie tries to reach out to Viva for the tag, but the Inspiration grab her instead and then double team the boots to her face. We get an iconic pose from the Inspiration, and then a double splash attack on B and Van in the corners. The Inspiration never stop talking. And I love this about them because they are the meaning of unhinged, really. Cassie has a mighty roundhouse kick on her, I have to say. And she takes Viva and almost Frankie out with it. The bee ducks in time, well, just in the nick of time, but then gets her jaw smashed by a lung blower, so I'm not quite too sure what would have been better in that situation. Cassie tags in Jessie and they slowly circle and stalk their prey while talking shit, of course. Cassie and Jessie give Frankie and Viva underhook facebusters and then deliver the final blow to Frankie B with the idolizer, which is an aided, whoa, she flips her water over, which is an aided swinging facebuster. And the inspiration get their win. Welcome to ROH Inspiration. We get a little chitty chatty from the Inspiration and they dismiss a Mr. Riccaboni and decide to take over their own interview, which involves a lot of nonsense and big balls. The Inspiration of Madness, no relation, had another match before going to Japan and losing their titles against an equally fabulously bonkers Becca with a three, who we love, and a new wrestler to the show called a Maddie Max. Maddie Max has 10 years of in-ring experience with a year off in 22. She is signed to Women of Wrestling and is from Texas. Now, Maddie Max has been on AEW telly before having a dark match against the suspicious snake woman. Mina's words, not mine. Hikaru Shida. Becca and Maddie, though, are not in any way going to allow themselves to be intimidated by the Inspiration, and they fight their battle pose with one of their own. Things just start off as chatty as the last match, but the dominating double team fun times start an awful lot quicker than the last match. After a little dozy-do double team corner smash on Becca and Maddie, they hit the Inspiration pose and power up. Max almost gets one over on Jessie, but the stronger of the two plod Maddie into their plop Maddie into their corner, and it all goes dog shit for her again, which with more double stomps into the corner. Cassie takes Max for a tour of the top turnbuckles with her on face and tags in Jessie. Jessie nails Max with a headbutt that almost knocks herself loopy, and Maddie manages to escape Jessie's clutches to tag in Becca. Now, Becca is hyped for the tag, but before she can get herself into the ring, Jessie is already on her and she pulls her into the ring the hard way. Now it's Becca's turn to feel the pain of the Inspiration. Brilliant double team attack. Woo. Jessie whips Becca into the ropes where Cassie is awaiting on the apron and she kicks Becca in the face with a gorgeous scorpion kick, followed by a toe trip into a knee to the gut. They're quick. They're fucking quick. The Inspiration start jacking and mocking Becca, and get caught off guard by Maddie, who has slunk into the ring behind them and grabs them. Max stands up to the Inspiration and tries to take them down with some forearms, but both Cassie and Jessie just eat those forearms up. They were snags and make Maddie pay for her audacity. They have powered up. Have they leveled up? They can take some hits. Oh. The Inspiration grabbed Becca with a three and Maddie for the double underhook face booger. The double underhook face buster and yell, come on the balls. So I'm wondering if that's actually like the name of that now. And Becca and Maddie get their faces slammed into the mat. They nail Becca with the idolizer, and it's boogie fun times for the Inspiration. Now that they're without their golds, they are going to be wanting to look for some new gold, I'm going to say, which is why we need more tech tournaments. But they can come into that the main roster and go for those championships. So against the Lightning, who knows? And speaking of gold, the keeper of the ROH Women's World Championship. You will take this from my cold, dead hands, forever champ Athena, had a proving ground match against the woman who has a chance now to be in that survival of the fittest match at Supercard of Honor. The amazing Zeta Steele, future tag partner of Layla Gray. Zeta is a very talented. She fucked up. She dared to shove her face in the hand, shove her hand and in the face of Athena. And that activated Athena's mind. And Athena made her pay for that insult. Zeta came back from her ass whipping and some great takedowns on Athena until she got rocked by stiff forearms from the Forever Champ. Oof. Zeta took advantage of Athena's basking in her glory, as she is known to do, and wiggles out of that fireman's carry, but she found herself in even worse trouble on the outside when she got up close and personal with the ground, thanks to Athena's flapjack. Athena got her back into the ring, and Athena was now even madder than before. She rocks Zeta with more stiff forearms and chokes out Zeta. But Zeta is not giving up because she is also very fucking tough and very freaking young. Can you imagine what Zeta Steele's going to be like when she has the experience of Athena underneath her? Zeta thinks, no, Zeta does not think just yet. After forcing all of the air out of Athena with a shoulder tackle, Steele climbs the ropes. But Athena can see what's happening and she rolls her ass out of the ring. Zeta thinks, I can do this, and shifts her angle to fly at Athena with the crossbody and takes her out on the outside. A little bit of outside payback for Miss Forever Champ. Back in the ring, Athena regains control, but she can't keep Zeta down for the 3. Athena climbs to the top rope for the O-face, but Zeta sees that coming and scampers up there to meet her. Athena gets taken by surprise and then gets taken down to the mat via an avalanche hurricane runner, and then nails Athena's head into the mat with a beautiful tilt-a-whirl DDT, which was glorious. But Athena will not stay down. In the end, Athena made Zeta tap to her amazing Koji clutch, and she wins the match before the 10-minute time limit is up. Did I mention this was a proving ground match? Probably not. It was a proving ground match. Samaya World is still the only wrestler to beat Athena in a proving ground match so far. And Athena needed to cheat to win the actual proper match for the championship. So Maya World must have some planned payback for Supercard of Honor, surely. Now, if Hyan beats Zeta Steele, what's going to happen with them in the match? Here's hoping if that does happen, it'll all go as smoothly as the Speed and Jet. And speaking of awkward, Shida and Stat fought Divine Dominion for the tag titles. It was a brilliant match. Stat did a gorgeous 450 splash onto a coupled cross and bang. Shida gave everyone a fright when she used Stat as a weapon and suplexed her into cross, and she almost decapitated for them with very powerful knee strikes, but they could not beat Divine Dominion. And Shida was the one who was actually pinned in that match. And she was very mad about it. Very, very mad about it. They're still working individual. I really don't know why Stat is doing this. I really don't. She can just say no. You can just say no, Stat. But on to better news. NXT is back! And she battled Willow for her TBS championship. Now, Anna, some new gear. It's all in red, and she looks fabulous in red. Willow comes out with a da 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 bow in green and gold with a little bit of purple, both sparkling like diamonds under the lights. Now, on the subject of Willow, just quickly before we get into this match, we, the sickos, are manifesting a future faction with a certain released new day, and we need this to happen, please and thank you. So everyone just getting in on that, okay? Love this. Anna tries to take a page out of the timeless one, take Willow down, cheeky little roll up right at the beginning, but Willow didn't even budge. Willow yells at Anna to show her some fire, and Anna Jade decides to show her some new fancy roll-ups that she has added to her bag of tricks. But this can't keep the TBS champion down. Anna nails Willow with some good stiff kicks, great kicks, but she ends up on the outside and Willow just cannonballs straight through it and almost takes herself out with the steel stairs. But she gets straight to her feet, gives them a bit of a whack, and combines love hearts with a fan. Oh, which was so super cute. High fives all around, a gun show. Gives Anna enough time to recover, and she kicks out of the pin when Willow finally gets her back into the ring. Anna got herself out of a nasty submission, but Willow strikes are too strong for Anna Jay, and she gets rocked off of her feet a few times. Anna Jay got in a great kick to Willow, and that almost completely busted her face, but Willow stayed on her feet. Jay finally got her off them with a lovely step-up spinning bulldog, but our TVS champion still kicked out to Anna Jay's growing frustration. Now, unfortunately for Anna Jay, she finds herself in another very painful situation when Willow plonks her up onto the top rope with an impressive death growl and flexed Jay to the mat. Suplex, followed by a Death Valley driver. Out. Anna Jay clocks on her Queen Slayer, the very deadly choke, but the TBS champion is just still too powerful, and Willow gets to her feet. Slams Jay into the corner. Jay has to let go. Jay continues to battle back, but then out of literally nowhere, Willow just yanks her into the back of the powerbomb, slams her into the mat, and squishes her up for the pin. 1, 2, 3. You can see all of the disappointment on Jay's face. Getting kicked out in the first round of the tag team tournament really it hurt them, and now she's got another defeat. So I hope she doesn't lose her drive. You know. She's very gracious in defeat, though. Willow extends her hand and with respect, and they shake hands. You can only go up. Can only go up, right? But while we're on the subject of disappointment, the remarkable lost her voice the same day as me. Are we twinning? Renee Paquette has Sheeta, Stat, Harley, and Mina gathered together again. Sheeta instantly starts addressing instantly. Oh yes, I was right. I was like, did I say Sheeta was meant to be Mina? No, no, no. Sheeta instantly starts addressing Stat, telling her that she's so sorry for losing the tag match and she will make it up to her. Apparently the Shining Samurai has the ability to make matches somehow and has challenged Mina and Harley to a tag match this time. Now, of course, Harley jumps in on this straight away because of Sheeta's previous words against her ability and is like, oh, really? I thought I wasn't good enough to face you. And of course, Sheeta has some sassy shit to say back to that. She can't help herself. She tells Harley that she doesn't even deserve to touch her kendo stick, even though she just said they'll have a match. in English. And then in Nihongo, she tells Harley that she's just a bunch of big boobs. Not a bunch of big boobs, just big boobs. Someone who knows all about being called just big boobs, Mina Shirakawa just ignores. She just bullshit and goes straight to personally. She's asking Mina why. Mina is asking Chris, why is she putting up with all of Sheeta's bullshit? And Stat just stays silent. She's not saying anything. Shirakawa then asks her directly where she was when Tony was attacked, which is a fair question. Everyone's a suspect. But Stat is done after all this and just walks away, leaving Sheeta, Mina, and Harley. Sheeta mocks Mina and then she leaves to follow Stat. Mina then apologizes to Harley for like all of this. Renee asks Harley if she can even do this match. Cameron is in the land of confusion and she is not even sure herself. So complicated with them. Oh my God. Stat, once again, is doing her friendships no good. And I don't know why she does this. If she continues, she's going to lose Harley as a friend. And maybe she just doesn't care. Maybe Stat wants to alienate, pardon the pun, everyone. You know? Maybe she just wants to be on her own. But we don't know anything because Stat is not talking. Now, I understand the feeling of just not wanting to speak when the people around you seem to have everything to say and are constantly arguing, but this has gone on long enough, and Shida is getting more and more brazen with her of Harley in front of Stat, and Stat isn't saying shit. Shouldn't be tagging with someone who is literally bullying in front of you a so-called close friend. What the fuck is up with that? It's so rude. But we shall just have to see what happens when they battle. And before we leave our glorious AEW roster, we get Sky Blue and her gorgeous new battle gear with added cape that you can see right here. She has a cape of darkness, and she looks absolutely incredible. She comes out alone to battle against the fabulous Nixie XS. Yeah! Who gets a boot missiled through her face from Blue as soon as the bell rings. Nixie, we love seeing you. More Nixie in AEW. Freaking love her. Now, like I said, we heard that the Mist from Julia really fucked up Persephone, and that's why she's not in the Supercard of Honor. So I would constantly be having someone ringside with me if I was going to face anyone of Triangle of Madness, because if she comes out and gets you, you could be fucking done. Like, Persephone's out indefinitely. Indefinitely? Indubitably, indefinitely. So, Nikki XS, you're lucky. Nikki XS fights off Blue with a very well-aimed forearm, but Blue makes her pay really quickly with a hanging, spinning neckbreaker to the floor. Sky rolls her back into the ring and climbs to the ropes. She basks in her glory, and Nixie runs in to try and take her down, but Sky fights her back off, yoinks her head, and then squishes her up in the ropes. Yeah. Blue then helps her out of that squishy situation by kicking her in the face and slamming her into the mat. Sky unleashes a battle cry and runs a knee right through Nixie XS's head. Blue goes for the pin, but decides she is not actually done and would like to show us something new that she has up her non-sleeves. Sky Blue has a new submission and she wants to test it out on Nixie. Blue glomps on a dragon sleeper and pulls Nixie down to the mat, where she then catches the rest of Nixie's body in a lovely tight body scissors, and Blue gets the win with Descent into Madness. Now she holds it on for a little bit, but she's not too dastardly. Not too dastardly. Blue climbs the ropes and basks in her glory as the fans cheer away, and we float away. Now, before we leave, I just want to leave on this one other little note. Just because others are shining in the triangle of madness does not mean that Julia Hart is losing anything. Okay? 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 We need to build up characters here, people. 2026 year character. Now, you just listened. Unless you talk back to me. Do you do that? I do that all the time. Totally talk back to the people I'm watching on television. So if you talk back to me while I'm talking, please leave on the comments because I freaking love that shit. What are your thoughts on this week's discussion, huh? As well, if you got any things about that, if you so wish, you know what to do. You can leave them in the appropriate comment section of wherever you are. And if you would be so kind as to like and describe, like describe your ideas and then also subscribe or describe how you went from liking and then subscribing. You do you. We're almost at 200, which I know is a small amount, but for me, that's massive. Um, where am I? I'm ending, aren't I? Who am I? I'm Bex Bestet. You can find me at Threads at Bex underscore Bestet, and also you can contact me because I'm just dozing in front of under a tree at Blue Sky. Bex hyphen Bestet. Follow the show on TikTok at Don't Call Me Diva, where we put on lots of fun little clips from both shows on this channel. Thank you as always to the amazing, wonderful Shane, my beautiful producer, editor, promoter extraordinaire, puts up with all this and puts it out to you. Go check out the Ethos Media Network on the YouTube channel. They have some great shit over there. Join us at sickosclub.com and Sickos Club on Threads. You have never met a more inclusive, smart, kind, and talented bunch of silly sausages who also happen to really enjoy wrestling. This was Don't Call Me Diva. Women's Wrestling Rules! Don't be a dick.